And after 90 minute accelerating time at the 974 Stadium in Doha, it ended Portugal 3, Ghana 2. Guys, I think you should be proud. In fact, I am very proud of the performance of the Black Stars. Though it ended in defeat, but I am very, very super proud. James Agberebi joins me via video. So hopefully, Kade Ogundare will be able to join us, maybe on the show via the phone. James, first of all, how do you feel about the performance of the Black Stars?
Okay, Femi, I would like you to join me in a round
Clapping
of
for
yeah. The Black Stars.
Of course.
The Black Stars, they
made the Africans proud.
I think for me, they are the team so far among the African teams who did very well. It was so unfortunate that the result ended the way it did. To me, I think what Ghana proved was Portugal is not a special team. I mean, at the point when the game was about to come to an end, you could see from the technical area the Portuguese they were
apprehensive.
They're
telling the referee
the referee to end this game. So and it was so unfortunate. Inaki Williams would have tied this game. For me, I think with little I've watched Inaki, I think it has given Otoado an idea that the way he has to approach the next game in terms of the attack. I think for me, Inaki doesn't cut it. I mean, that chance, that was a golden chance. We've seen strikers take advantage of it. I mean, the goalkeeper, he came from the goalkeeper's blind side.
Yeah.
Immediately he touched the ball, just slammed it into the net. But he was still trying to adjust, and that was how the Portuguese defender stopped him. I mean, that would have made it a perfect game. They did very, very well. From the first half, they contained the Portuguese. They frustrated them, they closed them, just like what we said they should do. They blocked everywhere. Mate was massive. Salisu too was massive. Kudus was, for me, the man of the match for Ghana. Ronaldo was rendered useless, if not for the cheap penalty he got. For me, that was a cheap penalty. And I think we can say, okay, it was a cheap penalty and it was a wrong call. But I think Salisu, for me, I think he fell into a trap. Ronaldo was going nowhere. So it was just, all I expected Mohamed Salisu to do was just try and shield him off. It was going nowhere. Just try and, Ronaldo was looking for the penalty and he got it. He dived. Because, I mean, I was shocked too. I thought the referee would go and check the VAR. Unfortunately, to my surprise, he never did. So for me, I think for the VAR team, that was a big letdown.
We're still going to come on into all of that, but I want our fans to tell us how you feel about the performance of the Black Stars. Are you proud? I am super proud. Remember, during our preview, we talked about hoping to come around in our review and, of course, come with smile. Of course, I have a big smile on my face this time because the Black Stars, we never expected it. Before this game, no African country has scored a goal in this tournament, and the Black Stars went and scored 2 goals. 2 goals without a penalty, unlike the 3 goals that was given to Cristiano Ronaldo. James, let's begin with that. The first half was perfect.
Yeah.
It ended in, like you said, the Portuguese superstars were contained and they were frustrated in the first half until that penalty. That highly controversial penalty. Highly controversial. That Ronaldo falling in, you said it, he just played into the hands of Mohamed Salisu. He was looking for it and he got it. But I think even if a player does that, then why do you have a referee on the pitch? Because the referee, if you're not even sure about the decision, that's where you have the pitch side monitor. Even if the VAR team tells you it is a penalty, if you are not convinced as a referee, you still have a pitch side monitor, and the monitor gives you the perfect image of what actually happened.
In instances like that, it's the call from the VAR team to the referee. But since there was no call, which I was surprised that there was no call. I mean, it was too soft. Fine, there was contact, but it was too minimal to just give a penalty like that. I don't know, maybe they were trying to help Ronaldo to create his record.
It could be.
Trying to, the only player who have scored
the first five, yeah.
You could be. That they wanted him to,
Or maybe the referee is also, the American referee is also a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo.
We never can tell. We don't know. We don't know. So for me, 2 things in that penalty call. That was a pure a dive, but Salisu fell for the trick.
But sorry, James, I think this is the first questionable call from a referee that we will have in this tournament. I think this should be the first questionable call.
I want to agree
because it is a penalty. We are not talking about every other, maybe a handball that happened in another part of the hill, but in the penalty in a very serious game as this, and it had to be against an African team. Sometimes when people cry, you understand why they cry, because why does it have to be against an African team? You have a pitch side monitor, and as a referee, you decided not to use it.
You know, so for me, and the good thing again about the Black Stars, they now shoot character by coming out, and they got the equalizer, Kudus, again. So that was why it was a surprise that Kudus was removed.
I was going to, you took that out of my mouth.
That was a shocker for me. Fine, if you had removed, he removed Ayew, fine, I think Ayew was fatigued. But Kudus was giving them hell from that.
It is even understandable that Kudus is already on yellow card. What you could have done as a coach, I think I will fault Otoado in taking that decision, that tactical decision. I think what he could have done, James, is maybe to call him and say,
caution him.
Please, don't make any rash tackle. Any rash tackle you are not sure of, please, because the referee will be watching you from this point on. What you just do is, please, just do your normal thing. Don't get involved in any rash tackle.
Exactly.
And he removed the two players who were involved in the assist.
And the guy that scored. That's why I said I use the remover. For me, I don't have a problem.
Because Inaki Williams was almost already marked off.
At a point, I felt he was very tired. So that's why I said, you know, when we preview this game, that somebody like Ayew should play because he has that threat in him. For me, like I said, Inaki, I think the coach now have to sit down and rejiggle his attack. You know, he brought in Bukari, and Bukari scored. But the funniest part about Bukari, you scored the 3 goals and you are now running down to celebrate.
I think he was taken away by scoring his first ever World Cup goal.
Ronaldo's celebration.
Yes.
You know, and he had another opportunity. I expected him to find his players inside the box, cross the ball. There were players waiting. He was now trying to score. I mean, that was a wasted opportunity. You know, so for me, I think Ghana lost it. I think the midfield that we've been shouting about, I think that was another issue again. They lost.
James, let's talk about that. After the 1-1, when it was level, the scoreline was already level. I was expecting that Ado would tell the guys, calm down. Let's again prosecute our game plan in the first half. We contained them and we frustrated them. So let's contain them. Then let's wait for a counter. I think it will have been a perfect game, but it seems he now decided to push the players forward.
Go all out,
because you could see when the Portuguese had the ball in the midfield, obviously there was no one to stop them.
So, like you said, that midfield, the engine room where they were doing the best work, everything
just as Andrea was celebrating with the bench.
they considered
and he turned around and
it wasn't so difficult for the Portuguese. Just 1, 2, 3 passes, and we just stretch the defense.
I think the substitution, the timing of the substitution, and the personnel, particularly Kudus, was totally off.
Like I said, Kudus was tormenting them from that. His speed was too much to handle, you know, and. Like I said, I don't know, Inaki for me, I think Inaki has to sit out the next game. Inaki, because this game against Portugal showed that... I'm sure he will still want to use the point man in the next game. No, so, you know, this game just showed that what the Black Stars attack is speed. When Bukari came, when we saw Kudus, we saw, you saw the way they were pushing. The Portuguese were hanging on. They were hanging on for dear life. They were hanging on. They didn't expect that kind of performance. That's why you said the game against Super Eagles, that was a good this thing for Ghana, because they know that just sit down, analyze this team, and you'll be there. For me, this Portuguese team, they are just lucky to get these 3 points, because going forward, when they meet a solid side, they're going to
concede goals.
Ronaldo didn't do anything. Bernardo Silva was marked out. Felix just got a lucky goal. He ran into a good pass and he was able to.
We can say for the second goal we can say Baba Rama didn't do enough, but it was a true pass. It was a true pass. It was also the fact of what we just established, that the midfield was almost not there. The midfield they just lost their head, lost concentration, because they just, the 2 goals came through misplaced passes. Losing the ball in the midfield, lose passes in the midfield. Once you lose the ball there, is a very sensitive area. You don't need too much. You don't need to stress it. Just one pass. And that was it, So for me,
kudos to Ghana. For me, they are so far, they've been the best African team. Finally lost. Tunisia and Morocco got draws in their game, but this performance by the Black Stars, I mean, kudos to them. I just hope that in the next game against, I think, South Korea, they can build from this. They should not allow this defeat against Portugal to weigh them down. Because the Portuguese, they will know that they went through hell.
James, for me, I think certain decisions, I think, again, I will come back to the officiating, because the referee, he didn't cut out for me in this game. Look at the Alice Edu incident involving Joao Felix. Yeah, we knew that what he did was wrong.
Retaliating.
That incident, for me, I do not think it was worth a yellow card, because even the commentator, the commentator was saying that you will understand why Alice Edu was furious, because what he did does not even guarantee a yellow card.
Yeah, you know, in football, sometimes it's your own reaction. They will not even consider who triggered the incident. You know, this guy.
Look at the Nike Williams incident also.
Yeah, they were just trying to frustrate. That was the only way to put the Black Stars players down, frustrate them. But you know that toe-to-toe, you know, play for play, skill, everything.
Strength for strength, it will be difficult. So the only thing is make sure
frustrate
continue
them,
to spread the card.
Them angry. That's why I'm so pissed that Inaki didn't take that final chance. That was a gift. You know, that was at the highest level in the World Cup. Opportunity like that, you just do everything possible to take it, but unfortunately, he didn't take it.
But a player with that experience, James, someone who's played
in the La Liga with
Atletico Bilbao, you've played the toughest of matches. You face. These are rules that you should know. It is just like a free gift.
Yeah, a gift. It was a big gift, like a Christmas, birthday, whatever you want to call it, gift. It came from the keeper's, from the left-hand side. I mean, the keeper dropped the ball. I thought immediately got that ball, he would just slam it into the ball. He was trying to adjust, you don't do that. You want to get the ball, you just hit it once. So for me, it was just, I don't know. I was very disappointed with Inaki Williams.
Okay, so we are still hoping that Kai Ogundare will be able to call into the program so that we'll hear, of course, what he has to say. But you, our fans, particularly our Ghanaian fans, what do you think about the performance of the Black Stars? Are you impressed? Which player stood out for you in that game? James, in the first game, the first Group H opener, we saw Korea and Uruguay playing out a goalless draw. Yeah. And now, where does that leave Ghana now? Because obviously Ghana is at the bottom of Group H. And of course, going into the next game, it will be, they have to win. Yeah. A draw, 1 point is not going to be enough. It has to be a win so that the next game, of course, there will be a clearer picture of what they need in going into the last game.
I think the game against South Korea now, with what we saw, what they did against...
And I think that should be a beef game, because remember South Korea, we said unconditionally they have to beat Ghana. So this is the game.
They have two beef games.
South Korea and Uruguay.
It's supposed to settle with Uruguay, you know. So the game against South Korea, with what they did against Portugal, I mean, I think there has to be a change of plan now, because we saw the kind of formation that Otoado came up with, the 5-4-1. You know, he tried to contain and everything before the
certainly there's going to be a tactic.
The penalty gift. Before they gifted Portugal the penalty, you know, so they have to come out now. They have to rejiggle that attack. That attack needs pace, you know, because to me, I don't always like this one-man solo striker. I mean, you know, so because sometimes once they contain him, that's it. You know, so he has to rejiggle. If it means bringing Bukhari in, Kudus too must be there. You know, I think Ayu too still have to, because of experience, and you saw the way he took his goal. You know, so that attack needs pace now. You need people who will run. Find the South Korea and the Asian, you know, they are very good when it comes to running, you know. So, but in terms of strength, physical play, and I think what they should bring from this Portugal game, try and, you know, still maintain that shape. Don't afford the South Korea.
Maybe a three-man defense now.
Yeah,
so
you have to be adventurous a bit now.
Yeah.
If it means playing a twin strike force, I don't like this idea of trying to just put one man in front, especially if that striker doesn't have the pace like that. Inaki is not the fastest of strikers. You know, it's just that box striker that, you know, so unfortunately, from what he did today, I think he has to.
You have reservations about it.
I have my reservations now, you know. So I believe with what we saw, Ghana should be able to take out South Korea. It wouldn't be a goal first like what we saw. Because they want to come out and win. Because they had a draw in their game, so they will be targeting a win. So for Ghana, I think they need to get some, even though it's 1-0, they should have to get it.
Okay, so I think all the Black Stars players, even Osman Bukari, of course, that ball was a true pass. So it can beat anybody. Of course, Atizigi, I think everyone did well. So going into the game against South Korea now, we expect the Black Stars to at least record a win. It is even non-negotiable. They have to record the win so that the game against Uruguay, we know this is another quarterfinal. It's going to be another quarterfinal encounter. James, what do you think, as we leave the studio now, what do you think will be the message, Otoado's message to these guys now?
You should, for me, after the game, you should say congratulations to them.
Because even, I'm sure Portugal would not have expected this kind of fight.
You know, so this means the game against Super Eagles was just a false hope for them. You know, was just a false hope. So I think what you should tell them, even the president of Ghana should even call the players and congratulate them, even in defeat, because they did Africa proud. So far, they are the only African team who have done very well. Forget the fact that they lost. They went against one of the top teams of the tournament. And with this performance, I believe they can build from this. Very, very, very important.
Okay,
sorry, and again, please, they should try and cut out mistakes. The World Cup is a place where once any error will be
severely punished.
It will be punished. That's what we saw against Portugal.
Yeah, but I also saw some reaction on social media about some person saying that Ghana seems to give too much respect to the Portuguese side, like the Super Eagles did. Do you agree with that?
It was a game plan. It was a game plan. You don't expect them to go gung-ho against Portugal. The whole idea was to try and frustrate them, contain them, which they did very well in the first half. Then the second half, I think the idea was to now start, coming out a bit, until that gift of a penalty came and they had to now rejiggle their formation. So for me, it wasn't as if they were just like the way the Super Eagles messed themselves up against Portugal. The Portuguese too knew that they went through hell today.
So quickly, as we leave now, what lessons do you think Otoado will learn from the? I'm sure this is his first major tournament.
Yeah.
Now, what lessons do you think he would take away from this Portugal game going into the South Korea game?
Yeah, like you don't lose focus, just like what we said before. Try and make sure the players, they are fully concentrated.
But you're just by the side, like you can't do that for the players. So how is he going to communicate that with the players?
Before the game, you tell them, guys, you have to be fully focused. Because that was part of the reason why they lost against Portugal. Loss of concentration, giving away the ball aimlessly in the midfield.
So loss of focus?
Loss of focus, and you have to try and take your chances. Just like what Inakimi, I will still come back to Inakimi. A gift was presented. He didn't take that gift. You're not going to always get such gifts. So try and take opportunity. Try and be focused, and always try and keep to your game plan. They had a game plan and it worked. But
in the second half, it seems they couldn't do what they did in the first half.
Yes, I think they would have learned a lot in the game against Portugal. And I hope they hope to come up with something much more better. This time, nothing like you're playing a 5-4. This one, you have to come out. If it's 4-3, you have to come out now and play.
James Agberebi, thank you for your incisive analysis.
Thank you very much.
And of course, to you, our fans, like I said, I'm sure you are super proud, in fact, as a matter of fact, because of the performance of the Black Stars. You could see the Portuguese, they were very apprehensive, very anxious, and they couldn't wait for that final whistle from the American referee, who to me has a call to answer, particularly for that free penalty that was given to Portugal. So let's know what you feel about the game in the comment section. And of course, tomorrow we'll be looking at, of course, fallout from this, because we know that Otoado will say one or two things. So tomorrow, when we come around to look at what happened at the World Cup yesterday, we'll be letting you know what Otoado feels about the performance of his boys. And of course, our producer, who is always there for us, making sure that our videos are uploaded in time. We say thank you very much. So until tomorrow, when we come around to look at what happened yesterday at the World Cup, we'll catch all of you. Bye for now.